Welcome to the Inner Flame podcast where Stardust meets the body. We are looking at, I cannot believe this, we are looking at August 17th through August 23rd, and I don't know how August is gone. This summer was weird. I mean, if anybody has anything to say about this summer, put it in the comments because I just feel like it has been a weird summer. Weird summer. So, let's get into the upcoming week of the energies. And I will say, it is raining here today, and I just feel a bit tired. I feel a bit tired, but it could also be from the energies and kind of coming off the eclipse energies as well. So, we're looking at the first half of the week with the main message being around the fates. So this is like our karma, our life lessons. And I feel like this might come up as like it I always anytime I get this card, and I'm not religious and I don't even know the prayer, but it's the serenity prayer, which is like, you know, let me let go of what I cannot control and let me become more aware of what I can control. And I think there's an importance to that. So if you know the serenity prayer and you feel drawn to it, then maybe that's something that you can like look into. I'm going to shift here. I only have my 4 inches because my dog is behind me, my little cheerleader all curled up snuggling. But it does make me really think about this week. We might start seeing like there's a lot that we maybe can't control, and we might see this obviously in the external, right, like the macro experience, but definitely also our micro experience. Like we kind of can't manifest out of our life lessons, and I think, like, I'll give an example. One of my life lessons might be my scoliosis, and I am a believer in being able to like change our lives through our thoughts, right? Through, seeing everything in a different way. But I think, we can't make changes until changes are universally in alignment, meaning there's a bigger, broader, more expansive energy at play here that we are not in control of. And so there's something about it, right, that I might have to let go of. Like, my gosh, I'm not going to be able to control it. Like, some days I'm going to have good days, and then some days I'm going to have bad days. So maybe looking at your own life, seeing where that might apply, right? Really, and it doesn't have to be related to your health. This could be a job. This could be a relationship, right? This could be so many things. So it's kind of really stop wasting your energy on wanting to control every little thing, and refocus where you are maximizing your efforts, right? There's the Realm Bridger card, and I do want to get the book here because I'm not super familiar, but what I get with this card is like bridging the realms, right? Bridging the unknown and the known. What else do I want to say with this? The Realm Bridger. I feel like the big word I get with this is acceptance. Like acceptance. Stop making it be something it isn't. Stop making it be something that you need or want it to be. Maybe there's just like this level of surrender, of accepting, like, okay, this just is what it is right now. But we also find freedom there because I feel like the Realm Bridger, I can't remember what the energies were even for last week because life gets so busy. But I do hope that doing these will help you see, throughout the week, like, oh wow, okay, I'm feeling that. But I had a friend and we were speaking about something very vulnerable, like something that, we had to give a voice to. And there was so much freedom in being able to voice that with somebody safe. And there's joy then. We can be like, whoa, I didn't realize how long I had been carrying that. And it's like this other avenue opens. So for the beginning of this week, it's really like being able to, again, see what you can and cannot control. Where can you kind of gain acceptance, right? the bridge, the realm bridger. And that also is like, this might feel like off the mark, but I feel like I'm supposed to say it. You know, sometimes in doing a lot of the work that we do, like reprogramming the brain, because we all have these blueprints, you know, like I carry beliefs from my grandparents that I actually don't even believe, but they've been kind of passed down through the DNA, right? They exist within me. And it's almost like, you know, you want to manifest something differently, but you don't even know what's stopping you, right? Because you don't even really know that those beliefs live within you. This the realm bridger feels like it's bringing everything together, right? There's something else I want to say, and I'm like not getting it very clearly here. So let's see if the card might. Birthing ideas from subtle reality. Okay, I love that. Bridging the seen with the unseen. Okay, so that I think that's what I'm trying to say, right? The bridge is being able to, you have this vision, but the unseen also might be what's stopping you. So it's allowing this to kind of come together, and can we get through it through joy, right? Let's see what else. Information from other realms, visionaries, architects of the future. So I love that. There's a whole builder aspect here. Seeding a new earth, inspiration. As you raise your vibration and explore different states of consciousness, you may experience phenomena you might have believed only happens in fantasy stories. Okay, so this opens up like a whole other level, right? Realm Bridger is like, okay, we might totally be in a whole different dimension or reality that we can't quite see. But this also feels very much of like kind of bridging the consciousness with the subconscious, okay? So it's like, again, because we've got this, you know, kind of letting go, the fates, karma, things are going to happen. We cannot get out of living and experiencing our life. And so the realm bridger might be, right? That acceptance to me is what I'm getting. And then we still have the joy card. It's really this week, especially the beginning of the week, what feels good? What brings you joy? What brings you happiness? Because even though we might be going through some things, this is like really, okay, well, how can I feel good? How can I keep moving in a direction that feels supportive, nourishing, and actually makes me fucking smile and happy? So by the middle of the week, we've got all that glitters, which is very much this energy that I get with Ainana. The middle of the week is very much, we're removing the masks. And what's really interesting is at the beginning of the week with the fates and the realm bridger, it's like this level of acceptance. But I was talking a little bit about like the subconscious. All that glitters is very much like, okay, maybe that's not mine to carry. Or who am I without all these things I think I'm supposed to be? Okay. Then we're also being asked to like see the full spectrum. This might be the middle of the week, might be seeing something brand new rather than clutching to something that actually isn't serving us. And I think that's going to be really interesting for us to see in the macro, like in our external reality and in our internal reality. And the full spectrum is like really asking us to kind of go on this journey of like, who am I without how I think I have to show up in life. And maybe that can bring us back to joy. There is this feeling of time. I might be running out of time. Time isn't on my side. And this could even be like in a way, like if you are removing the masks and you're maybe stepping into more of like a authentic role, I don't have enough time. I'm running out of time. Or this could very much be like, I'm not ready to remove the mask. I'm going to keep going for what I think I want. And time is not on my side. I'm running out of time. So I can see this in both ways, kind of like that paradox, like the dark and the light side of it. But really, this is saying to us that time actually is on our side. Can you shift your alignment to knowing that time is on your side? There was a thing that my friend and I do, and it's like a time bender. And the minute you kind of reorient and calm your nervous system down and say, I'm going to get everything I can get done today, or everything that I need to get done today done, you shift your whole reality. So this is really reminding us that we have the ability, right? We have the ability to be the time benders. Time is not running out. Time is always on our side. There's so many quotes, like 60, 70-year-olds who will like start going to college, or they'll be quoted in saying it's never too late to be something different. And I fucking love that. Like an 80-year-old will start dancing and she's like, I've always wanted to dance. Why do we think that time is not on our side? Why do we think, of course time is precious, but why are we not maybe tapping into the expansiveness of time and reminding ourselves it's never too late. It's never too late for us to step into that authentic role of who we are. As we move then through the week, and I'm going to actually look that up because I feel like maybe that has something else that wants to be said. Oh, creating heaven on earth by honoring the perfection of nature's cycles. And I think this is really interesting too. I feel like I have so much I want to say on this, but maybe now isn't the right time. We all go through cycles and phases, and our bodies, again, it's like one of those things, like kind of let go what you can't control, right? Like I might have a bad week, and the more I fight against it, the more I feel like I'm running out of time, rather than going and being honest and accepting of my reality that week and being able to say, this is what it is. I still want to shift and orient myself in a good position through joy, but I might feel more limited this week, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's also phases and cycles of grief of our emotions, right, as women. And I don't think we always honor those. So this is like really, all that glitters might be, where am I pushing the boundaries of what I need, of what my vision is for myself, of what my body is looking for, to just keep up with, a title, or and maybe that feels very important to you, but I think this week is also reminding you, okay, but if you didn't have that title, very Inanna, right? Inanna was the queen of heaven and earth. She had to remove all her regalia, all the things that made her feel like the queen, and go back to the essence of who she is, right? So this is very much like creating heaven on earth by honoring the perfection of nature's cycles, and honoring the cycles that we go through. Maybe you're in a grief cycle. Maybe the cycle right now is like things feel really good. Maybe it's a summer or spring cycle. Things are really blooming in your life. Maybe it is a season right now of winter where you feel very internal, or you're working on yourself, right? Our cycles don't necessarily link up with the cycles of nature, but we all have cycles. So this is like very much, being able to honor what is happening. Okay, let's see. Honoring the full spectrum of life. Here, going beyond the judgment of good and bad, the merging of duality. And that's so interesting, right? As I think I just said, like there's the paradox of the subconscious mind and the conscious mind, what we consider the dark and what we consider the light, right? So, which is very much Inanna. So there's definitely this feeling of merging the two and knowing that you're not any less I think there's something else I want to say that's coming through here. You're not any less by letting go the titles that you feel you have to uphold. That's pretty huge. So by the end of the week, we end with loyal heart. We end with the unlimited self, which is the crown chakra. Loyalty. This is so great. This is so great. This whole week is like, let go of what you can't control. Let go of the masks of who you think you have to be, and come back to, where does your loyalty lie? Is it for something that like, do you want your loyalty to really go towards something, the energy of your loyalty to go towards something that doesn't actually feel full to you? And this would also be like a very good time at the end of the week, because of, again, all that glitters. It's like, I'm fighting for this, I'm fighting for this, I'm fighting for this. But what happens when you get to that moment? Maybe you're not going to find what you hope you find. Maybe it's not going to feel the way that you hope it would feel. So this is a really great time to just check in. Is that really what I want? And maybe it's saying that you're not supposed to not go for it, but a check-in with authenticity and a check-in with your loyalty. What is calling to you? It feels like this week might be breakthroughs, personal breakthroughs. And I think we're also going to see this in the external. We're going to see some fractures of loyalty. It seems like we're going to see, some things where that it's like, oh, wow, I thought that person was loyal to us and they weren't. Okay, so we might see this. The crown chakra, though, this is saying that we're going to definitely have some information coming through. This could be through meditation. I mean, we've got the solar flares constantly coming. I don't think we're out of the solar eclipse portal completely. So we have a lot of information coming through. And this might also kind of alter, it will, because the last card is perspective. So I was just going to say, it might alter your view of how life is going and where you want to be. There's going to be like some kind of like wake up call in a way that's like, oh, wow, I think my energy was going in this direction, and I actually want it to go in this direction. And there's nothing wrong with that, but really being able to support yourself. There also might be some kind of situation where it gives you, it's more of a wake-up call through an experience rather than maybe kind of, not that that isn't an experience, but you get what I'm saying, like through a fight or through, something happening, right? Karma, an experience that you go through. Rather than meditating or journaling or something like that. You might get this inspiration or this download or this awakening, this wake-up call of like, oh, wow, I think I want something different, and you gain a new perspective. This could be for your own personal life. This could be for what is happening on the main stage. This could very much be for even the new paradigm, right? I talk a lot about the new paradigm and like what we're moving into as a collective. So let's see if there's anything else that wants to come through. Devotion, inner guidance, visionary experience, inspiration, fathoming beyond the mind, enlightenment, connection to the universe and the life force energy. Yeah, so this, again, it just feels like a breakthrough, like there's going to be some information coming through. Restore, be present and flowing without rigid outcomes. My God, I can't read today. Find more spaces in your life. Find your own way to meditate. When you are distracted, you are living on the surface level. Explore the state of flow and be receptive to the intuitive messages you may receive. And isn't that really interesting? Because that is very feminine energy. The last 2 weeks that we've gotten the yin card, and that's very much like, being aware of the state of flow. The fates card here, where it's like, be aware of what you can and cannot control, feels very much like, okay, my father-in-law always said, to get through life, you got to be a good surfer. You got to know when to ride the wave. You got to know when to maybe that wave's going to crash and burn you. You got to know when to float, and you got to know sometimes that some waves are going to come out of nowhere and but just pull you under for a little bit. And that is a very feminine energy to me, to be able to surrender and just be like, okay, again, like that also lines up with the full spectrum card, where we were really looking at the cycles, right, and phases. Us having these different moments present, these different energies present, and some might feel really good and some might kind of pull us under. And I think this week is kind of saying, time is on our side, but maybe there are things that are trying to pull you under and you don't see that they're trying to pull you under. So then again, this is like, wow, I just put that together too. The full spectrum, being very aware of what's going to pull you under. Because something might look really pretty. It might look really good. And you're like, yeah, that's what I want. But it's actually saying no. And I'm getting this too. There might be something that's going to take up more of our time. It looks really juicy. It looks really good. But are we in a position or a place where we want to devote more time? And this isn't saying no or yes. This is saying for you as an individual, it might be a power plan, a passion plan. Like, then yes, it would be, right? It would be worth it. But then for some, it might be like, no, that's not what I'm looking for. So we definitely have, by the end of the week, this information coming through. Where is your devotion, right? Where is your loyalty? Where do you want it to go? And know that you might not have all the information. The loyalty card, the devotion, is like being open to knowing that you are devoted to you, your highest vision, your highest purpose, and be open to new perspectives. I think that's going to be really, really great. So this could see, maybe by the end of the week, oh man, I'm not being loyal to myself. Maybe you need to check in with your relationship or your partner and be like, hey, I think we might be off the track a little bit. Maybe you need to have a chat with your coworkers or other employees. Like, hey, where's our devotion here? What do we want as the full picture? Because information is going to come through that's like really divinely guided to give a new perspective. So that is this coming week. There's a lot there. Let me know how you're doing in the comments. I think it's been a bit of a doozy, or the summer has been a bit of a doozy, but I would love to see or hear how everyone else is doing. And we did a round table with my friend Amanda and Mia, and we were talking a lot about like what we think is happening with the new paradigm, like where we are right now, and just some of basically all of our own intuitive hits that we are getting for what's coming. And again, I think it can feel very much like we're not moving in the right direction, but remember to reorient yourself to a place of joy. That was the top card. To a place of joy, and remember that we're moving forward, and you are moving forward, and you are worthy to move forward. So I wish you a good week, and I will see you next time. Oh, but I might have forgotten to say, that whole new paradigm, I think that's going to be coming out on Wednesday, so check in for that. And I'm going to kind of take it slow, guys. I'm going to kind of take it slow. We are working right into football season and soccer season with my kids, and I really do want to live in a place that feels nourishing for me and my kids. And I've really come to terms with, I have so many visions for myself for like what I do, but I also want to be very realistic with where my attention is asking me to go. And I think I need to slow down just a bit and honor that cycle, that phase that I'm in. So I'm obviously still doing the weekly updates, but I usually try to do a lot on Substack. But I'm just going to really take my time with my articles and allow when they're ready to come, they come, but I'm not going to put any pressure on myself. So stay tuned, and I look forward to hearing from you.